Mine will not be as long. Um, it's not adventurous. So, like I mentioned, I met this guy who is an ITC alumni, and he's the one who suggested that I apply for the scholarship. So he gave me the link. I applied. I applied for admission into two institutions, both in the Netherlands. That is the IHE Delft and ITC. And the reason why I applied for these two institutions is because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for my master's. So in IHE, it's more, for them, it's more of just the water resources aspect. And I wanted to apply for master's in hydrology and water resources. Then ITC had the GIS and the remote sensing aspect, but I wasn't sure like which one to go with. So I decided, let me just apply for admission for both of them. So I applied and I got the provisional letters from both. And now I consulted this guy. I'm like, okay, I've gotten the admission letters from these two. So what do I do? Is it possible? Like, can I apply for scholarship for both? He told me no, I would get disqualified if I did that. So I have to choose one. And that was kind of a hard moment for me, like choosing between the two. So finally, I thought that since my bachelor's was more on hydrology, I did a few courses on GIS and remote sensing. Let me just go with the GIS and remote sensing. That's how I chose ITC over IHE. Then from there, everything was quite simple because, you know, the good thing with, I think, with Netherlands, I tend to believe that Netherlands as a whole, like they guide you, they work with you in a nice way such that the process is not hectic. So I submitted all the application documents for the scholarship around February 2016. Then I think April the same year, I got an email saying that I've been nominated for consideration for the scholarship. And then June the same year, I got the email saying that I got the scholarship. But now, by this time, when I'm applying for the scholarship, I had left the organization where I was doing the internship. I was tired. I can say that it was toxic for me too, because the fact that, you know, like I told you that I was promised that I would be absorbed, but then after the 6 months, I wasn't absorbed. Then I do another 6 months where now my parents were catering for everything. And then they tell me that to do another 6 months of internship so that now they can consider me. I was like, you know what? I'm done, because it's like you're not seeing my worth. I felt like I was working, I was doing my part, because the work that we were doing mostly is like there was the monitoring of the water resources around that region. I'll not mention it. And also there was training of communities about water resources management that we used to do with WARMA. I used to do them because I love trainings. But no one was seeing all this. So I was like, I don't think I'm being appreciated here, and I can't stay here. Because normally if you stay in a place like that, they can either make you devalue yourself, feel like you're not good enough. And I didn't want that to happen at the beginning of my career. So I had discussions with my dad a lot, telling him that I'm tired with this place and I want to quit, but he was telling me to just hold on a little bit longer as we apply for jobs elsewhere. But I just got to a point where I was like, enough is enough. So I discontinued the scholarship, the internship, and I went home. I preferred to go home than stay there anymore. And you know, that environment was really toxic, such that there was this lady who used to cry every day because of the way she was being treated. And then I think she had fear of even, lying or asking for permission whenever she applied for jobs elsewhere and she's invited for interviews. So she's stuck there. You're not happy. You're not even paid well, but you're still there. And I was like, no, this can't be me. So this period when I'm applying for this scholarship, I had only two hopes. I had submitted my a job application letter to Watma head office, and I was in communication with the chief HR. He had promised me that he would get me a job, but the process is long, with these government organizations at times.
Yeah.
And now I had the scholarship, so I was holding on those two. And I think I was also feeling so down during that period because people would be like, oh, why don't you volunteer? I'm like, I volunteered somewhere and I wasn't appreciated. Now I'm here and you're telling me to volunteer again. And that's like, why don't you tell your father to pay for your master's? You go do master's in another course. Because with the course that I did, there are not many job opportunities in Kenya. So if you don't work for WATMA or the water, the Ministry of Water, then there are very few consultancies. So opportunities are very few. And that used to make me feel bad. I got to a point where I hated getting out of the house because I don't want to meet anyone and they start talking about the wrong choice of course, because that's how they would say it. So when I got a scholarship, I was really happy because it's like my prayers had been answered. Yeah, and that's really opened, everything for me, I can say that. So maybe, mine might not be adventurous as yours, but we have one thing as in common, like we like not being happy in the work environment.
In the same environment. Like if I share about the environment that I was in mine, first of all, I used to have this boss of mine. I won't mention her name.
Yeah.
She was a lady and she really gave me hard time.
Yeah.
I was really a good planner. Actually, I was one of the best. I was the best such that in 2015, because every year they used to give like the best planner, like give a gift or prize each and every end of year. I was the best planner in that year, 2015, end of 2015. But that kept me in the company because there was no excuse that she could have given to the boss, the main boss, to fire me.
Yeah.
But my stay there was really very toxic, like because she is my immediate boss and she's giving me this hard time and I cannot surpass her and report to the main boss who really trusted me and who really knew the worth of my job.
Yeah.
So for me, I felt like living there anymore was really draining my energy and was leading to my mental, it was really kind of affecting my mental health. So I decided just to look for exit strategy. And I think that's the moment now I got this opportunity.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so I think we have similar experiences on our work area, but how we were able to look for opportunities maybe are different. Because for you, what I'm learning, as you are talking, what I can take from that is that in your case, you had someone to guide you through.
Yeah.
Then for me, I had no one, so I was just
to navigate your way through.
Yeah, I had to navigate my way through, and I think it's good. Okay, what I can take from here is it's good to know who are people who have been through similar situation or who have been through. You need to get to know people who are ahead of you.
Yeah.
Maybe in the same field or in the same kind of career, and ask to know this direct. Because for me, I wasn't doing anything through Google.
But no, you used the resources that you had. Like you didn't know anyone, but at least you used the resources that you had.
The reason why I'm saying this is because I had gotten someone to help me. I think I could have gotten the NFP program or the scholarship that was full, and I didn't have to go through all this process of looking for money because I could have applied earlier.
Yeah.
But because I had no one to guide me and tell me, Netherlands scholarship program deadline is usually this month and all that. So because I was navigating my way, and because I was just taking anything that was available, I really had to struggle. I had to struggle more compared to someone who had someone to guide, right? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's good to know, just know someone, get to ask this question. And that's, I think that's the aim of this channel. To try to give information that we know through our experiences, to help someone not to struggle how we struggled previously, like how because we have struggled. You don't have to struggle, like, because our struggle is enough. You don't have to go through the similar situation. Because I realize also, talking about also maybe your career experiences, it was more likely to get a scholarship if you are recommended from the public service than if you are recommended from a private sector. Which from my side, that was it. And I didn't know. If I knew, I could have used the private sector and get someone from the university or from the ministry to recommend me, which I didn't know. I had no idea. I think it's important to also get to know people, and so that these people are able to share these experiences.
So I agree with that. And also, I do get questions. Like, someone asked me like how they can apply for scholarships, and at times, like, there are diverse courses, right? And there are some courses that are just structured for a certain what can I say, research area or research theme. So we don't have information about all of them. So maybe we may not give you a direct answer, but now by sharing these stories, now you see, like, Eunice used Google to get all the opportunities out there that were available. So you can do the same too, because I find that sometimes I give people links, and then maybe they look at the requirements and it's like they want something so straightforward, or they want you to do some work for them, which can't be the case. Because for me, yes, I had someone who gave me the links, but I had to do the work for the work and maybe consult them when I feel the need to. You can't have someone write the motivation letter for you. No, maybe you can write and then send it to them for them to check. So basically what I'm saying is, you need to do, like, you need to, if you really want these things, you have to do the work. It's not easy. It doesn't just come for you. You have to look for it. You have to go.
You don't need any connection. You don't need any godfather to get opportunities. That's the best thing about searching for opportunities abroad. You need no godfather. Okay, we have some connection whereby some universities have to refer a student to get a scholarship, but those are the minimal. Those are like the least number. The high percentage of admissions or scholarships abroad, you don't need someone to recommend you direct. What you need is just a referee. And you need to apply by yourself. You don't need to have a connection with anyone. And especially when it comes to graduate scholarships. So you can do it. Like, just go through the Google and Google it and search for whichever country you want. Actually, I think there's a blog that I've written about that. If you want, we can share it on the link below.
Actually, I wanted to mention that, because you have, I think, 2 or 3 videos about
I have 2 blogs. Is it 2 or 3? I don't know. We'll share anyway. We'll share all the links about
so that you can put
anything that is useful that someone can use. Or the information that I've already shared on my blog, and to read and see what can help you about application of scholarships abroad.
So maybe you might be wondering, like, did the 14 of us, the ones that we moved to Netherlands, are we all of us in Europe? The answer is no. 3 of us stayed because we got an extension to publish an article from our work. Basically, with the Netherlands Fellowship Program, you sign a contract, and in this contract, you state that after your studies, you'll go back to your country so that you can apply the knowledge that you've learned. And actually, in one of the requirements when you're applying for the job, you need to have a plan of activities on how you intend to apply the knowledge that you've learned. So you need to go back. And everyone had to go back, even me and my other colleague, we had to go back and then come now for the new contract. So what I'm trying to say here is we are not planned. All of us were not planned to come and stay here. We had come for masters and then go back. But then not because we are the smartest people but we were lucky enough, we did well in our studies. So we got that contract to publish our articles. And before the contract was over, because it was 3 months, when you got the contract, we applied for what is called search year in the Netherlands, or the orientation year. So basically, you can apply for a permit that is valid for 1 year, and during this period, you're supposed to look for a job. If you get a job within that period, well and good. If not, you go back. And we were lucky to get opportunities. I and Eunice got scholarships out of the Netherlands, and our colleague got a job in the Netherlands. So I just thought I should mention that in case anyone is wondering. So for those who are not interested in studies, there are other ways. We don't have experience with them, but we know there are other ways. They might be harder, because I think moving as a student is much easier, I think so, than the other ways. So do you know of any ways that you would like to share?
If you want to move abroad, you can move abroad through several ways. And it depends with which country you are going, or which country you want to go to. Because for some countries, like I think like German and Sweden, there's something they call, I don't know, au pair or something. Au pair, whereby you volunteer as, I don't know, as a help or something. You apply, and then you are absorbed in a family whereby you live with them, you learn the language. And as you stay there, you can look for opportunities. That is one way. Another way is you can also volunteer. There are some companies or organizations that you can volunteer and go to abroad for the first time through them. That one I don't know. So many of them. And another way, you can look for a spouse abroad. Some people move abroad through getting spouse, and there are different ways of getting. You can get married, or in other countries like Netherlands, you can just get a partner. They recognize partnership, whereby you get someone who acknowledges, or who goes to the government and say, this is my partner, and then you get a visa and you move in together. That's also another way. But the easiest way, as we are saying, is through application to do I think studies. That's the easiest way.
And the hardest actually is for employment, because for you to get a work visa, it means that country has a deficiency of employees in a certain sector, which is hard. I've heard about Canada for like 2 years now, people saying that there are job opportunities in Canada. I don't know how true that is, so you can check it out.
Also, getting employment is easier when you've done the studies abroad.
Yeah,
Getting
yeah.
employment abroad,
Yeah.
it will be easier if you have studied here
Yeah.
or whichever country abroad.
Yeah.
Once you finish the studies, it's easier for you to get a job than just applying it from your country or
That's
from Kenya.
true.
Most of companies prefer employing people that are within the country because they don't have to incur, movement cost and also visa application cost.
Yeah.
So it's easier for them to absorb someone that is within the country than taking someone that is very far from the country. Yeah.
Yeah. I also think that with some professions, it's much easier than others. For instance, with nursing, I think nursing, especially with the US, I think they take nurses to take care of old
Let's
people.
just say medical
field.
Medics is like if you are in a medic profession, it's easier for you to get employment abroad than being in another profession, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about the au pair. There's this lady who lives in Germany, Sharon. I think her YouTube channel is called Miss Shaz. She narrated some time back like how she moved through the au pair. Though hers is years back, but I think the process is the same. I'll look for the video and leave it in the description box down below so that you can go check it out if you're interested.
Okay, yeah. I think that's good. And in case you have any question, just link them on the comments section, and we are going to answer them at the end of this segment about moving abroad.
Stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Bye.